Salutations, Utopians. What a great day for women's hoops today. What a historical moment. This is exactly what Title IX fought for years, decades ago to get this full circle moment, whether you agree with it or not. NCAA women's hoops is now at the forefront of sports entertainment outside of the NFL. The numbers are staggering. The last game in the Final Four was 14.2 million viewers when Iowa versus UConn. This is amazing right now, what we just got to witness. First and foremost, let's address the elephant in the room, the real MVP of women's hoops and who brought a lot of gravity towards the game, Caitlin Clark of Iowa. Kudos to her today. Broke some major milestones. One of them was her all-time leader in women's NCAA scoring in a tournament history, passing Shamika Holsqua and Maya Moore, top 5 royalty ever to grace the game, up there with the Cheryl Swoops and the Cynthia Coopers of the world, Tamika Catchings, right? And then you got most points in a quarter. She did 18 for a women's tournament. Also, first D1 athlete to lead the nation in scoring and make it to a championship game. Talk about walking it like you talk it. Kudos to her. I love what I seen from the way she was playing. I know a lot of people want to draw the comparisons to Steph Curry, but it was giving a lot of 90s Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, because there was a lot of catch and shooting off balance, similar to actually what Clay did a lot. Raven Johnson got up in her. Okay, that was just the bottom line, what you want to talk about. Raven Johnson channeled her inner LSU last year. Alex Morris, clearly she watched the tape. Though she shot 1 for 11, she did not waver or buckle at all in the face of adversity and forced in that third quarter. That was what an amazing output from her. Caitlin finished 10 for 28. Caitlin was looking like AI that year where he got that one win on the road against the Lakers in the finals where he stepped over Ty Lue. This was the kind of output, but don't make no mistake about it. Hannah Stoyek, first of all, I don't know how many inches she gave up. I'm not going to sit up here. That chick right there, she was putting out for real. Like, she did everything you can ask. She was out there just filling whatever the game was calling for. Rebounds, taking charges, making the outlets, getting back down on the other side of the court. Mind you, she's banging with someone who's 6'7", and I haven't seen in Camilla, who I call Camilla Terry, the way she's got a no-fly zone on in the paint. Camilla Terry Cardosa out of Brazil, the way she locked the paint up reminded me of like Lauren Jackson with Seattle, or Brittany Griner when she was in Baylor. Not necessarily as athletic fluidly as they were, but just that knowing how to leverage her 6'7" frame really made a difference. I'm gonna tell you, Kits Cardoza being able to go back to the roster thing I mentioned with Dawn Staley, her creating basically a corporation there. Having Cardosa, Kits, and Watkins, that luxury right there is insurmountable. It really did remind me of '09, 2010 Lakers when they went back to back with Bynum, Gasol, and Lamar Odom. Lamar Odom was an absolute rebounding machine, and that luxury, like, you could tell. I was so floored by how Iowa hopped out the gate, and it was just bombs over Baghdad. The way they were just throwing their best punch, and like a real heavyweight does, the South Carolina, they just slowly walked them down and got back in control. And the way they pulled the game back in at their own pace, you got a feeling that there was an overwhelming sense of doom coming for Iowa, even though they played lights out. Having a luxury like Watkins, she gives me prime Sean Marion vibes. Hyper energetic, willing to scrap, willing to fill in the blanks. Sean Marion is one of the biggest, best kept secrets the NBA has ever had. Go look at his win track record. Any team he was on, whether it was Phoenix, whether it was Miami, whether it was Dallas, this guy was always a part of winning teams and high winning teams. I'm talking north of 55 wins because the guy knew what the game needed. That's Watkins. She'll mix it up. She plays with a lot of energy. She knows where to be, and she just has a knack for finding the ball. And that's all you can ask for when you're talking about it. Then you had Pow and Tessa Johnson coming off the bench. I mean, the way they were shooting. Pow Pow is third in the nation in 3 pointers made. It's like whatever you want to do, Dawn Staley, whether it's an X and O standpoint or an actual talent, they're going to meet you at that level. And we can do it however you want. And the luxury of having the paint locked the way you do is why Fool Wiley is able to go crazy herself and can pick her spots, because you know, oh, well, we're going to get it off the glass anyway. This was one of the greatest legendary teams up there with the Billy Donovan Florida Gator squads. Kudos to the South Carolina Gamecocks ladies. Y'all did y'all thing. I hope y'all get to see this. You really inspired a nation. I can't wait for the WNBA draft. This is going to be a stacked draft. Wonderful job. And you definitely beat a champion in Caitlin Clark. Rings and trophies do not define a champion. Your heart does. And she laid it on the line. Congrats to everybody involved. And the WNBA is moving forward. The women's game is moving forward. I love to see it. Global out.